So that day, my brother and I were playing in the front yard, and I remember we were playing with a knife, and all of a sudden we see these cops pull up in the front yard, get off, and start walking towards us, and we're like excited. Oh, here comes the cops! They know what's going on. We didn't know that the cops were actually coming to arrest my mom, because what had happened was that my mom did a robbery, her and one of her friends, and they were able to identify her. So the cop was coming to pick my mom up. My mom was inside getting high with one of her boyfriends, and but we didn't know that was happening until it happened actually. And then what happened was that the sergeant that was there happened to be a good friend of the family. His name was Ben Gonzalez. He was a sergeant, and so he knew my mom, and he knew that they were gonna raid our house, and he didn't want my mom to get hurt. So he asked his leader if he could come and do the arrest, because he knew my mom, and I guess he was allowed to. And then he went in there, and he arrested my mom that day. And my mom, I remember my mom telling us, go tell your grandma that I'm going to prison. And that day was a day that our whole life was going to change. We had no idea how much it was going to change. That day we went to go live with my grandma, and my grandma lives right smack dab in the hood. I remember being there watching people get beat up with sticks, getting stabbed, cars going down the street, getting shot at, people being chased, and parties, and quinceañeras, things I wasn't used to at all, being there in the hood. And then it was right there at this time in my life when I had to learn how to fight. I had to learn how to fight, and we had a recreation center right there called the Meta Recreation. So what I decided to do is I took boxing, judo, karate, and wrestling. I said, man, I'm gonna learn how to fight, and I learned how to fight. I learned how to fight. I learned how to, defend myself, because in the ghetto, you gotta defend yourself. In the ghetto, you can't let nobody mess with you. You can't run from a fight. You can't back down from a fight. You have to learn how to get down, and that's what I learned how to do. My brother and I, we learned how to fight like that. And that's how it is in the ghetto. In the ghetto, you never run from a fight.